My first tomato is growing. Yay! It's right here. Focus, it's super tiny, but I'm so excited. So it's my first time growing tomatoes, so I'm gonna show you how I went from seeds to this. Let's do it. I'm starting the seeds in the seed starting mix I quickly picked up at the big box store to start the process already because it was 6 weeks before my last frost day and I just needed to start them already. You could probably make your own, and I will next time, because I later found out that peat moss isn't too great for the environment. So I'll be leaning more toward the coconut koya core. I don't know how to say it. It's coconut fiber. I bought these seeds from Renee's garden and they're container Roma tomatoes named Inca Jewels. I like Renee's garden because there's a lot of information in the back of the seed packet as well as on their website. I started these on February 5th, which was about 6 weeks before my last frost date here in El Paso, Texas, Zone 8A. And this is how tiny the seeds are. They're pretty minuscule. I only used 3 because I don't know why. I thought they would all germinate. And 2 of them did, so we were fine. I started watering with a cup of water, but that wasn't working too well. So I got a spray bottle and sprayed water on it instead. After making sure the seeds were wet enough, I put it in my makeshift greenhouse, which is what you see here. It has a heat pad, some grow lights, and a cover. And those other plants are my peppers if you want to watch that video of my first shot at growing those too. You can see the grow lights in the back, but they didn't work too well, so giving you which ones they are is kind of irrelevant. After 5 days, the seeds had sprouted, but they were looking pretty leggy, which means the light I have for them wasn't enough, which I kind of thought would happen. It was a dinky grow light I bought used for $20. So I simply removed them gently and planted them a little deeper, and then I placed them under a different light and by a window that has a direction of the morning time sun for about an hour, but still the stem was looking kind of leggy, so I moved them into a different grow box with clear plastic as opposed to the red one I had it in, and this one was near a window also. I also didn't record it, but I moved them over to different pots, bigger pots, as they were getting bigger. And I saw that you should have a fan so you could acclimate them to the outdoors. So that's what I read, that's what I did. Here's what they are looking like 6 weeks in. I just kept moving all the plants around trying to figure out what would work best. The ones you see in the white pot are my bell peppers. I put them in this tub to water them from below. So I would put the water in the white tub and then they would sip it from below, as you can see here. It has water, and then I would just trade it with the tomatoes, and then the tomatoes would drink it too. About 2 weeks before I transplanted them outdoors, I would bring them outside little by little each day. So one day they would be out for 30 minutes, the next day an hour, and then the next day a little more, then an hour, and so on and so forth. I increased the time every day so they would get used to our blistering heat. And here you see me adding fertilizer from Rev on April 11th. And finally, it's transplanting time. Yay! It's April 21st. It's a couple of weeks after I started them from seed. And I'm going to put one here on my in my raised bed near my onions, basils, and marigold. And I'm going to put the other one in a pot. So we'll see which one does better. Since this one that I'm going to put is a little bit leggy, I'm going to remove the bottom 2 leaves, and then I'm going to dig a hole to where I could lay it down so that the roots have a lot of room to grow downward and expand down, because this raised bed's only 9 inches deep, so I couldn't really put it vertically. So I'm laying it down horizontally, as you'll see here. Also, I collected a bunch of eggshells, baked them, and blended them because it's thought to prevent blossom end rot from calcium deficiency. But according to MSU Extension Service, that deficiency is normally caused by uneven watering, and the eggshells won't help prevent this problem. But I thought, hey, it can't hurt, so I did it anyway. And this tomato plant I'm planting into its own pot using Fox Farm potting soil because anything I ever grown into the soil always thrives. I also removed the leaves at the bottom like I did with the other one and dug it in deep enough to cover most of the stem all the way up to its first true leaves. On May 13th, though, I did add Fox Farm Happy Frog tomato fertilizer. Can you tell I like Fox Farm? I added about 4 teaspoons around each plant. And a month later, from when I transplanted them, this is what it's looking like. Yay! It's much bigger, happier, and healthier. I do have to add some support though, which I did on this raised bed tomato plant, but I have to add some strings around it to hold it up. And here we are 16 weeks from when I first planted it from seed. I finally have flowers. Yay! So now to wait to see if I get tomatoes. This one I had here, but I moved it over here because the sun was blistering and I put this shade on top. We are getting 95 to 100 degree temperatures now, so it is hot here in El Paso. So now it'll be shaded most of the day. This right here is getting morning sun. And this one too has a couple of flowers, so hopefully I get my little pollinators over here and I get some tomatoes in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm so excited. Let me know if you have any tips for me. That concludes my tomato growing journey. I hope I helped you out at least a little bit. Again, if you have any tips for me, let me know in the comments. I'm not a professional grower. I just grow in my backyard and I'm hoping to help somebody out. Thanks for watching. It's done. All right. One more time and then I'll pick one. You guys, I grew my. Look.